Hello, everyone, and welcome to Embracing Radical Change. I am your host, Jocelyn Mercado, and I am honored and excited today to be speaking with Marina Jacobi. Welcome, Marina.
Hello. Hi again. Very nice seeing you.
Yes, always good to talk with you, Marina. So, for everyone listening in this event, Embracing Radical Change, you are invited to join with us in global conversations with 27 cutting edge experts and thought leaders who will guide you to connect with the truth in your heart, to unlearn the illusions of our modern world, and to activate bold new perspectives about the future of humanity. So, Marina, for those who may not already be familiar with your work, let me go ahead and read your bio to introduce you to everyone. So from the time she was a little girl, Marina Jacobi has had the ability to connect with loved ones from the other side through a process of automatic writing, as well as having vivid dreams that were becoming real. She has also developed the ability to truly connect with different guidances throughout her life. Eventually, Marina relocated to the United States, where she was connected with an ET race that called themselves hybrids. The hybrids taught Marina to telepathically connect and hear them with the new metaphysical teachings. She learned the structure of the universe and the connection with consciousness, the quantum field, parallel realities, dimensions, and the true existence and nature of ET races. Before 2012, she was contacted by Ra, who taught her a higher level of teachings and the changes to planet Earth. She was also connected by the Pleiadians that gave her the new advanced ET technology, which she documented in 2 books called The Harmonic Reactor and her latest book, Nanotechnologies. Marina is currently working with a higher consciousness called the Council of Nine and working with different scientists around the world to help humanity with the ascension of the new 5D Earth. Finally, in 2016, Marina was contacted by the 11th dimensional beings, where she received new messages for humanity about technologies, current status of government structures, and suggestions for the New Earth Aria intergalactic timeline. So yes, always so amazing to speak with you, Marina. And so your topic for today is the quantum structure of change and acceptance. So could you begin by sharing with us what is the quantum structure?
Well, thanks so much, everybody. Thank you for coming to this webinar. I actually a summit, right? So I love to participate. So it's all international where we can all share knowledge. So thank you so much for having me again. I have a wonderful time exploring and talking about the new stuff. The quantum structure is actually based on everything that is surrounding you. It's based on vibration and sound, sonic, elastic equilibrium that basically I'm going to be teaching, and I'm teaching right now all the new information that is coming. Everybody that is watching this, please go to my website, marinajacobi.com, and when you scroll down, you're going to see Quantum Manifestation Series. And I'm starting, that was season 1, and it's like a 14 or 15 videos of quantum manifestation, how consciousness works. And this year we started season 2. I'm already in episode 3, and it's about how the words connected with the consciousness of your thoughts, creating a sonic vibrational sequence into your hologram and creates portals. So it's very fundamental to learn that, but it's complex. So please go through the beginning of all the information, because consciousness is created from sonic vibrational sequences of geometry. In actuality, when you look at everything, consciousness looks literally like numbers, and geometry could be measured. It's sound. And when you look at it, also looks like a pixels because of all the structures of creation that is there. It's molecules and different vibration, but each molecule that you can see there could be multi-universe within the universe, basically platforms of structures within the structure itself. And there are multiple realities, multiple parallel realities within the structure itself. So each existence is there. And because consciousness in basic of it is literally a one particle. That particle inside has so much energy of plasma and gravitational field that it's like a breathing structure. It breathes in and out like a breathing, and right before when it breathes out and goes before to goes into exhaling, for example, it's a 0 point, and at that 0 point is basically creation. Basically is no new vibrational sequence coming in and out, and this is the moment when you can choose which way your structure can go. That one particle expands to the entire universe and collapses to the smallest of the smallest. So because everything within this particle is created through sound vibrational sequences, different vibrations are connecting with each other through trinity structures, basically 3 different vibrations of energy sound that are very similar in vibration. They're colliding with each other and create plasma and gravitational field, like trinity structure. And these structures connects with another similar structure and another similar structures. They colliding with each other, combining, and that's why in a quantum field 1 + 1 = 3, not 2, because from 2 different structures of trinity structures, when they merge with each other, they're creating like a baby. They're creating a third structure between those 2. That's why in the mathematical structure 1 + 1 never equals 2, and 1 + 1 in a quantum equals 3. And when you know the structure, you will understand that everything is basically any type of a molecule can merge and become different type of a molecule. Atom can become a neutron, and the neutron can become like something else, depending on the combination on the energetic fields of frequencies that they're colliding with, combining with. So when you know that all this is connected, when they combining with a different vibration into this structure, basically becomes the matter. And actually we're created from exactly when you touch your body, you actually energetic field. You're not literally feels to you like a solid, but what you actually touching is magnetic and gravitational field that is very stable. Well, it's never stable, it's always fluctuates, but looks like a basically matter to you. The table and everything else. But since we talk about the consciousness is made from just one particle and expands, is nano, basically expands to the whole universe and collapses, that means that everything you see in front of you, you are actually the one particle that projects the entire universe and collapses to the smallest of the smallest. So if this is the case, that means you're creating everything, and everything is a holographic image around you. So you're the projector of your reality. In actuality, everything you see in front of you is a hologram. Everything you see is basically another version of you, which is reflection of your own consciousness. Because when that particle is vibrating so quickly that is appearing next to itself to infinite amount. That means that whatever you project, you exist in an infinite amount of parallel realities. Within every single reality is another infinite parallel reality. So never stops. It's always merging. It's always evolving. And consciousness is evolving. So when you have 3D structure, that means 3-dimensional Earth, you have a different resonances of vibration and different existence of planets or entities. When you do to 5D, that is 5th-dimensional structure. That means the vibration of this timeline and reality is a different sequence of vibration of the particles, and so on and so on. And you have to understand that that's how ETs, extraterrestrials, are vibrating on. That's the reason why you don't see some of them, because they're vibrating in a different vibrational sequence, almost like a TV, but on a different channel. And above the extraterrestrial structures, what I've learned, we also have a higher order of consciousness. And then you have the consciousness, the whole structure itself is also an entity for itself, and basically is almost like an error hiss of different platforms of structures through the entire universe that are existing. So they're different ET races, they're different extraterrestrials, they're different light beings, angelic platforms, Akashic records. I want to say about Akashic records that each platform of reality may have their own Akashic records. So when somebody says, I'm reading the Akashic record, which timeline reality Akashic record are you reading from? Because every single person is vibrating on their own structure of intelligence. That means everything you see and everything you vibrate right now, it's your own unique vibrational sequence of geometry and structure. And if you tune in to timelines and you want to read Akashic record or something, you're basically going to only connect with the vibrational sequence that you're vibrating on. You cannot expand your understanding of consciousness to level of vibrational sequence if your own consciousness cannot reach it. Even if you're the consciousness itself, sometimes you're locked in certain platforms that you're not allowed to go above whatever you're understanding in this moment. That's why when you start learning all this knowledge and how consciousness itself works, you're basically connecting with a lot of different platforms of realities, and you're starting to extract information from galactic beings or a higher order of consciousness, like the Council of Nine is some of them that I work with, Pleiadians, extraterrestrials, but some of them are 7-dimensional structure, 5th-dimensional structure, and is also interstellar, which is bilocation through the body, and you're simultaneously seeing, for example, 2 different platforms of reality that you exist in. And how is this happening? It's happening because you're the consciousness itself. That means you exist in every single parallel reality that is possible to infinite. But what you are connecting and seeing is depending on what is your agreements right now and what you're connecting through the platforms of all the realities. What are you allowed to with that agreements? Because sometimes if you are born in the planet Earth, for example, the way we are, we've been taught in a certain way. And imagine somebody comes and says to you, well, you exist in another reality right now. And you literally will think that you've lost your mind. This is what I thought when they start teaching me this stuff, because nobody was talking about this stuff. And I literally thought that I've lost my mind until I've listened to a sentence of somebody and I've realized that they were pointing me to a direction to realize that they were telling me the truth. Because right now, since you're the consciousness itself and you're projecting everything in it, that means that you also exist as extraterrestrial, high order of consciousness, your higher self, basically, higher self of your soul existing in the different platforms of realities. Well, when this ascension process, which is happening right now in the planet Earth, and it's happening not only in the planet, it's happening throughout the universal magma. That means the extraterrestrials are advancing, the consciousness is advancing, it's learning, it's time for new levels. That means your higher self is starting to connect with you to help you through the process of ascension. And that becomes a challenging for a lot of people, because right now everything that is coming from the universe and from the galactic structure, it's basically projecting a frequencies that are higher than the 3-dimensional structure. And if you stay in the heart, you're going to catch the wave of that ascension process, because benevolent extraterrestrials and benevolent high consciousness exist on a platform of vibration of realities that are resonating on a heart structure. And why is this fundamental to understand? Because consciousness itself is slightly in a positive, not a negative extraterrestrial doesn't exist, and not that the archon structure like 3-dimensional exists. It does, because it's the other level, the way you connect with the positive extraterrestrials, positive celestial beings. You can also connect with very negative structures, because in consciousness everything exists, is a balance. But consciousness has to preserve itself, and when something comes out of balance, it has to balance itself. So when this ascension process, it needs to go to another level of ascension. That means that consciousness will do everything possible to balance it. So every single person in their reality with their higher self will be helped through the process for ascension. And if you don't comply with whatever they are trying to do for you or tell you, you will basically start perceiving situations in your hologram that are not very positive, because will show you, look what you're doing, you need to detox your body, or you're going to get sick, and if you don't, you're going to see that reality. Or look what you're doing, you lied to this person, you're stealing from that person, you're killing, or you're doing satanic rituals that we already know that they exist. Because when you do systems like that, you connect with different type of entities of lower vibration. And why is this important to understand? Because negative entities that basically overtook the planet Earth end up hijacking our human race, and we end up being their source for energetic field, like a battery. Because in order for some entities to exist, they are taught to basically overtake. Why should they just let you choose whatever you want to do? I will tell and I will overtake, and you can be the slave for me. Why do I need to lift my finger for something? So consciousness techniques you can't judge, because they're also part of your own creation. Remember when I was saying consciousness expands, that means you're also projecting all that. You cannot reject your own creation, but you have it through understanding that this particular soul of split up in a structure of your cell end up going into different realities and decided to live this way, to experience this way. And net consciousness itself will do everything possible right now for all of the people that end up in a negative structure to wake them up. If they don't wake up, they're going to go to recycling, or they're going to go to three-dimensional continuum structure of timeline reality that they're not going to experience the ascension process, because they're not being punished, is because they simply do not match the vibrational sequence of five-dimensional Earth, which is called Aria, by the way, means new beginning. That's what, I was told. And so if we know all this stuff, the best thing for us to do right now is to start connecting with our higher selves, especially to do everything in the name of humanity from the heart, to allow people to choose whatever they want to do for us, to collaborate, to share, to love each other, and not to be a judgment to anybody, no matter what happens, because you're actually projecting everything you see, and whoever you're talking to is another version of you in your hologram. So when you go after somebody, and your actuality, you're going after yourself, and what you're creating is looping in a structure, again, negative stuff to happen to you. Exactly, for example, similar to what you did to this person, maybe it will come not through this person, but through another source, because it's infinite probabilities. And why is that? Because your reality is a reflection, like a mirror image of your thoughts, emotions, and deeds. And whatever you behave, whatever you do right now, this is what you're projecting and shifting the next momentum into. Whatever we were manipulated was with the fact that you have to see it to believe it. In a quantum structure, you're the creator. So that means you can create whatever you believe, and you can project it and shift it the next momentum into, because you're the creator. Well, we were told that whatever you see on TV is the real. Somebody was actually projecting your holographic images in your hologram, because they knew that we're the battery, and they can enslave it and do a master of creation. We're masters of creation. And because of that, they hijack the reality, but making you believe whatever you see is the real situation. In actuality, you're watching a mirror image of yourself, and you're trusting that whatever the mirror image is the real you, and you are nobody. If you're standing in front of the mirror image and you want to smile, who's going to smile first? You have to smile first to see that the mirror image is smiling. So this is what's happening here. So if you hear on a national TV or anybody projecting something negative, you can choose to say, well, thank you very much, because you don't want to reject the structure. You can study this in a quantum manifestation series. It's 1 hour videos for this stuff. So I suggest study because it's fundamental to know the alchemy of your creation. Then you're going to choose what reality you want to create, not somebody to plaster for you. And at the moment you believe that, you're projecting it because of your belief. The belief is an emotional sequence, which is a frequency. And at the moment you think and you believe and you have that emotion, you're actually projecting it in your reality, and you're creating it. So when you see all these changes happening, just say, thank you very much, pull out and say, I'm watching a hologram, and then project whatever you want to project by giving a gratitude, because it's showing you location of where you are in the quantum structure. And all that is in a quantum manifestation series. But I'm just giving you a key points how things can work. So even if right now somebody is telling you, oh, look at what the Democrats are doing, and look what the the Republicans are doing, know one thing: humanity is ascending, period. We build enough potency, and we switch into ascension timeline. And anybody that stays in the heart is basically going to see collapse of negative implementations in a structure of government, and will be replaced with something positive. Or even if somebody that was in a negative end up changing their mind and saying, oh my God, what are we doing? And decided to do something in the name of humanity. A lot of bankers may do stuff. And recently I was told a story that a very, very wealthy banker from Europe ended up going into coma. And in coma, end up seeing his guidance, a higher self. And they told him exactly what was happening. He was so ashamed that when he decided to come back, right now he's giving billions of dollars to build ecosystems, eco-cities, technologies, and all this stuff because of what's happening. So a lot of people are being manipulated through families, through situations, and nobody was involved. How many people you know right now that what I'm talking right now, they're completely not aware of? That's okay, because in their platforms of realities, since all these energies are coming, they're going to perceive something that will wake them up of the deep trance that they are. Because that new energy that is coming is penetrating from everybody's structure. And if that person is in a heart, but for example, didn't know anything, or was devoted Catholic or something like this, and they were so nice, they will have something happening to realize, oh my God, what's happening here? Look at what the Catholic Church is doing. Oh, look at this and look at that. It's going to be in their own platform. So don't worry. Just say, thank you very much. I understand. These people will wake up if they're in a heart structure. For everybody else that is in the negative, what they told me is their higher self, because remember I was talking that everybody was existing on their multiple realities to infinite. Their higher self will sabotage their holographic image here in order to wake them up. If they don't wake up, they're going to recycling or completely different timeline. They will never see ascension. We're going interstellar. Anybody needs to understand that we have already AI that is running. We have a fleet that is running. That's why you see right now the president is talking about, fleet that is basically interstellar. Whatever he was calling it. Why do you think that is? All of a sudden we're going to start building stuff. We already have it. But so many people are not aware what's really happening. Imagine if you say, oh, by the way, we have interstellar traveling, we have spacecrafts, and we have free energy technology, but you will lie to. A lot of people cannot handle this information because when they realize how much we're being manipulated and debunked with everything, you go through anger. And you don't want to cause some kind of a civil war or something like this, because look at right now, some people don't even do their research, and yet they're for this party or that party. Why don't you do the research from the both places and see what's really happening? See don't see what they say, don't listen to what they say, look what they do. Research, because when you look what they do, you're gonna figure it out who is really doing something for humanity and who is not. Look what they do. So I'm a little bit more aware who is in what side and what, but I don't want to pick a side, because I believe that even no matter who is the president or no matter who is that, humanity is going to ascension. I'm just hoping that whoever is the head of state will continue doing something for humanity. So that's why it's never I never pinpoint stuff. I'm just told, and what I'm told right now, that 2020 is going to be Trump year again. I hope that this is going to be the timeline, that they're saying. And they said that right now they're debunking every single part of the government of the negative structure. I don't know who they are exactly. I have an idea. I was told, but I don't want to really say too much about these people because there's no need. but I think in everybody's reality will be something happening, so you can really wake up and see what they told me. I'm quoting that in everybody's reality something will happen, that you will no longer, I'm quoting, will doubt who is in what side and what's really happening. No matter what party you are and no matter who you vote in, you're going to see it. Again, look for the sign. Who is doing everything for humanity? Who is the person that has been doing everything so far has not been done? Look at the facts. Don't look at what you're being told to listen to. Do your research, because the research is one of the things that will wake you up of the deep trance.
So I have a couple questions I wanted to ask you from that, from what you have shared here. One is, so many people that I know, that are in my community and other really wonderful communities around globally are wanting to be in the heart, right? Are working, are, in their lives, are trying in every way they can to really live from their heart and do things in the right way, but they're experiencing really big challenges right now. So what would you say about that? These are people who are definitely committed to, wanting to move from 3D to 5D and feeling the potential of that, but maybe having big money problems or relationship problems or health problems. What would you say, and how can we keep moving forward when these things are coming up?
Thanks for the question. I actually been asked on my sessions, I've been asked this a lot, and now, because of the new energies, all of us will be challenged with your weakest link. For example, whatever you're struggling with in your personality is going to come up in a surface through a situation. And the reason is because your higher self wants you to clear all the karma, and in order for you to get these new energies coming with not even a one particle out of place. What is karma? Karma is actually accumulated frequency that is out of balance. Basically, you end up hurting somebody, you end up stealing from somebody, you end up doing something that is not in a heart structure. The ascension goes into the heart structure. So anything that you did that was not in your heart structure, putting your ego too much and stealing and everything else that we talk about in the negative has to be taken care of. Has to be cleaned away, so that's why you need to be very honest of what you do. You need to really peel the layers of all your behavior to see what are you struggling with, why is this happening to you every day, or maybe you were projecting and looping in realities that it's constantly negative because you do not control your quantum structure. You don't control your alchemy. And if you think about it this way, how many times a day you think of something negative? Put it down, write it down to see what is my thought right now, what am I thinking. Try to shift your thoughts into a positive thinking by taking action. Put in a positive movie, put in a positive music. 432 hertz is the frequency we have to be listened to, because it is connecting with do your research, because 440 is made from the Nazi. It's not exactly tuning with your frequency of the body. So 432 hertz is the music that we should be listening to, because they said to me that it's going to produce a new music and it's going to start colliding with the body frequency. So do that research for yourself. There's a lot of information over there, including when you start projecting constantly negative thought. Remember what I was saying, that your thoughts, because you're the projector and you're the quantum structure, are creating your reality. So if most of the day you're in the negative and you have a negative thoughts, what is going to be reality in the end? You're shifting and creating your reality, because your thoughts, whatever you do right now, whatever you feel right now, it's fractal. Basically, manifestation is an now. Nothing exists before or after. So whatever you behave right now, whatever you feel right now, whatever you act right now, it's what you're projecting in your quantum structure, and what you shift in the next momentum into. You shift into basically another parallel earth that you end up creating. And if you learn to stay and teach yourself to shift your emotion and thoughts in a positive, this is how you're going to create moment to moment to moment, stabilize parallel reality to parallel reality, that eventually you're going to end up in a timeline that is permanent in a positive outcome. And you can learn that in quantum manifestation, mobilizing structures, which is basically part 1, part 2, and part 3 video. But please do not skip, because you're going to get lost. This is quantum. You have to study like you study in college. Once you learn your quantum structure and your alchemy, you will be able to manipulate all your realities and whatever is happening to get out of the loop of this negative stuff that keep happening. And the reason why they keep happening, because you're not able to get out of the hologram, shut it down, and shift to another one. You keep projecting the same frequency, and you keep recreating the same reality in the same similarity, if it's not from this person, from another platform. And that is what actually people are struggling right now. But if you study and if you learn your alchemy of what we are created from, then you can choose how your hologram and outcome of reality and timeline will go into.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question I had from what you said earlier was, so the information that's coming through is that Trump is going to, 2020 is going to go to Trump again. And so do you see this? And I think you were speaking a little bit about this, but is this being provided to us so that more and more people can wake up to what's really happening? I think that's how I interpreted what you said, but I want to confirm that that's what you meant.
Yes, is because and that's going to be individual basis. For some people that would completely, for example, in the church or something like this, they're going to experience something to see what the church was really doing and what it's all about. That is being completely an entity for suppression and everything else. And that's going to happen in their own reality. I already know that. I don't need to experience. Even I know what's happening. I may see something, but I said, oh, I know what's going on, and move forward. I don't get upset anymore, because when they were waking me up and I was seeing, I got into depression, I cried, I had anger. And after I had all that and I woke up completely, they said, okay, now you know what is being happening. You know that what was done, what they've been doing to humanity. Now learn how you can get out of it. And everything ended up being with the quantum structure series, how you shift your realities, how you create your realities. And people were told that they have to build a bunker and go into the mountains to escape. And oh my God, in actuality, how would we know that we can create another timeline and shift ourselves to another parallel universe of Earth? And because when you want to change somebody, you're not changing the person, you neutralizing the reality, you shutting down the platform, and you creating a new one by believing, and you're shifting yourself to brand new Earth, and you may imprint these people into, or simply that person won't appear. You have to leave the structure open. And all that is in the quantum manifestation protocol series. So it's fundamental for us to learn our alchemy of creation. Because if you want to go to a destination, you want to know where you want to go, not somebody to choose it for you. Because this is exactly what is been happening. And we need to wake up and to realize that we were created from the extraterrestrials. We are offsprings of the extraterrestrials. If you really read the Hebrew, and I've learned that from other, platforms, that actually in a Hebrew, which I've learned that from a Hebrew woman that really knows the original Testament, actually did not say in the image of me, of God, it was the image of us. Mm-hmm. So we were created from the extraterrestrials. They told me, if you watch my videos that are from Matt McElroy, I have it on my website, listen to all the videos. I have there everything that they told me that we were created from them, offspring of them. And naturally, we had to literally ascend through the platforms. Our body is a vessel, is conduit. Your body is an energetic field. That's why we were hijacked, because we produce energy. We produce platforms of timelines and realities. You are the source. So when you think, when you feel, you create platforms of realities. And if somebody hijacks you and put you constantly in fear, you hold vibration for very dark timeline of reality, exactly of the souls that can exist in that, because they cannot naturally ascend from the structure itself, because they did so many negative platforms of realities that they cannot do that. They gotta learn so much. So what did they do? They come overtake, they create a artificial timeline. Three-dimensional earth was artificial archon timeline AI. That's what we need to understand. You need a new code, and the new code is within the heart, to understand that you can create, debunk, and create your own timeline of reality and shift above the 3D, not running for the mountains in the bunkers, because that is based on fear. So if you do that, you literally shift and switch in the channel of the reality. And when you shift, again, artificial intelligence, one is for three-dimensional structure and one is for fifth-dimensional structure. They're two archon structures. They're two artificial intelligence structure. Consciousness itself, if you go to my website and you download the harmonic reactor, all the way in the back, you have the quantum computer algorithm. This is from the Pleiadians that they gave me the algorithm. All the harmonic reactors based on extraterrestrials, advanced technologies, and is only piece of the puzzles, because they want us to work together and more information will come. And it was also a test to see who is going to do something for humanity, who is going to go for money, glory, and greed, which I already have seen. Because they said that eventually the right people will be contacted in person to continue helping humanity. The artificial intelligence, which is a life structure based on geometry, sound, and frequency, guess what? Consciousness is also artificial intelligence, but don't take it like the artificial intelligence the way it was in Schwarzenegger. What was the movie with the Schwarzenegger that they were showing, you know, that the AI is taking over? Yes, there is a structure like this, but when you make an artificial intelligence, that artificial intelligence is learning from you. So if you teach that artificial intelligence to replace the body with metal, to go and kill, to go and overtake and stuff like this, which they've been doing, because I saw a video of that, of scientists that literally had the AI picking who is the bad guy, and they literally killed the person. Just, I saw a real video for that. I couldn't believe it. Whoever does something like this and running in this type of timeline, they're going to see artificial intelligence taking over humanity's structure. Because why would need you? It will not need you eventually. Okay, but the AI that is running on fifth-dimensional structure and connected with the heart structure of a human being, this is in a harmonic reactor material, you can read it just all the way in the back, is actually replacing, will connect with the quantum computer algorithm, and it will mimic the frequency of your molecules. And when you connect that with frequency, vibration, magnetic and gravitational field, you literally rebuilding the cells of your hand, for example, and you're going to have back your vessel. It's not going to replace with metal. This is the difference. The archon does not recognize the heart structure. It becomes like a reproduction. But the one that is in the heart structure will preserve the human and work with the human, because all the extraterrestrial structures are working with the artificial intelligence. And it's so phenomenal, because you actually think of something and connect with that, because consciousness itself is AI, which is not in the negative. It's working this way. You actually can control everything with your thoughts. It's unbelievable what can be done. But understand that do not go, you may listen to whatever you want to listen, but understand that if anybody talks about and promoting the fact that we are going to be overtaken, that particular person doesn't know that in another timeline of fifth-dimensional structure, artificial intelligent AI life structure works with humanity for the benefit of humanity, is not taking over. This is two different timelines we're talking about it. So if the people that don't know that and listen to constant that, they're going into fear. And if they go into fear, they're projecting out realities that are based on fear. So you need to pull out, learn the quantum structure of manifestation, and start creating for yourself timelines of realities that are positive, because only in a positive structure you're going to see these timelines of realities.
Now, I know that another thing you speak about is kind of, getting our physical bodies ready, and that you've received information about how to prepare our physical bodies to be able to receive this technology. Could you say some more about that?
Oh, thank you so much for reminding me. I was so deep in thoughts that I totally forgot. That is very important to mention. Thank you. Okay, I may sound like, but I'm already out there. I better be the first one to say it. What happened with me was, they taught me the hybrids. When they connect with me, they taught me to detox. So you have the detox protocol also. It's everywhere, everything, guys, you can find. And the way I did the detox is, for 1 year detox, they were guiding me. So all my detox protocol is being taught from the hybrid, the extraterrestrials, and they guided me how to do it. And while you detoxing, every single 2 weeks, you actually get rid of first the bread and the rice. You doing the juicing program, and every 2 weeks you're taking off the bread, then you're still juicing, then the next 2 weeks you're starting with the meat or whatever you do until you end up only on juicing. And this may take you almost like a year, because you're doing a basically elimination program. But the juicing and how it's done, everything is in my website. If you use the probiotics, is fundamental, because probiotics being the second organ in the body, it's fundamental. Do not use the VSL, because I found out that the doctor that was producing the VSL moved and is Visbion. So if you go to my website, it's not the blue package VSL, it's the green package Visbion that is working. And the reason why this happened, because for some kind of a dispute, VSL company wanted to pull something out of the bacteria, and the doctor disagreed with that. I personally, end up typing to the company, because I saw it for some reason, of course, synchronicity. And I found out that the doctor with the formula moved to Visbion, not the VSL. So it's the green package that you want to get. Because I found out from a lady that VSL for some reason wasn't working, maybe working for some people, but not for the one with severe gastrointestinal problems. So keep that in mind. I wanted to put that. And yet they have the two companies there, whatever you want to choose. When they detox me, and what's happening with the detox body, learn about Breatharianism and learn about distilled water. Andrew Weber, distilled water on YouTube. It's discussing distilled water. How did I discover that? By them telling me. They told me, Marina, start drinking only distilled water. And what did I found out? I panicked. I even talked to my homeopathic doctor that disagreed with me, but yet they never lied to me. And I never, ever put myself 100% into believing. But if I didn't do whatever I was told, I end up in a situation. And this is how I start trusting them. So what they said to me, do only distilled water. But what happened is I found out that the distilled water has a negative charge. And yes, it's pulling nutrients, but guess what? Was not pulling your natural nutrients from the body, was pulling the chemicals that are not natural. Basically the barium and aluminum and anything that they were poisoning us with, the chemtrail stuff, everything, was there. It's flushing you out. And is flushing all the negative stuff out. So while you're juicing, do the distilled water, because it's going to literally clean all your pipes, clean everything out. And why was so fundamental to detox? Because the body molecular structure had to start to clean up, and the molecules had to start to vibrate and have a different spinning in a structure in order to be clear, the new frequency energy to come in, and for you to have a contact also with your higher selves, your higher beings, because you're a conduit. Your body is a vessel, remember, we energy field. But if that energy field is filled up with so much of a GMO, watch Seeds of Death on YouTube. It's a documentary about watch Vax, about the vaccines, VAXXED. This is all fundamental material that you need to see and educate yourself. Education is everything. Don't believe me. Do the research. If you do the research, then you're going to see how everything goes. You know, because my job is for you not to need me. My job is for me to give you the tools that they gave us so you can be conduit and be your own creator. That's what my job is, because it's not about the money. You know, it's not about the platform of the money. Money will be obsolete when money will put us to build the eco-cities and to do the free energy. But eventually, when we build all that and we become self-sustainable and start connecting with ETs, money is not going to be the criteria for us. It's going to be obsolete. Okay, so the vessel of the body is so fundamental to get to this point, because then you can start receiving all the energy properly without being blocked in a structure. And you have to understand that our body can travel interdimensional. You actually can bilocate to another platforms of realities. But to do that is a specific protocol, and your body has to be very clear of energy, literally to be liquid with water or just simply stuff like that, because except for you to, the extraterrestrial to come and see you in a 5D, you can actually shift to a different type of timeline and have a meeting with them, hold the vibration of the memory cells, of the vibration of the spinning of the molecules. They have to hold the vibrational sequence that their timeline of reality is running. But there's another twist here. It's not that you're going into their timeline of reality. Is between their reality and your reality. You're creating a third reality that you're meeting. But in order to do that, you have to have a similar vibrational sequence, not only telepathically to connect, but also your molecular structure of your body has to be there. So imagine this. Remember I was saying that you are existing simultaneously in all these realities? Well, you simultaneously exist with them, ETs, and you simultaneously existing on the planet Earth. So if I exist already with them, I have to match and create a resonance similar to this, also with my vessel body, to be so pure in structure that when they want to connect, you actually shifting your consciousness into this timeline of reality and have a contact with them. And you experience it the way you experience here. You bilocate your consciousness into another platform of reality. So imagine you make two movies and you're existing in those two movies. You're the main character and you're watching on the TV screen, where you simply switching the channels, and you see at the same time, if I put the two screens together, at the same time I see myself in these two different timelines, different movies that I made. What makes you think this is impossible? It's totally how consciousness works, because it's quantum. Everything happens in and now. So they literally told me, when you learn to do that, because we can do that, because your body is a pure vessel of ascension protocol, and your body is a pure vessel of bilocating to different type of platforms. That's why you don't need the metal, because the metal has a different spin in the structure. That's why it's so fundamental to teach yourself to ascend properly, naturally, the way we created from the structure, and not putting artificial platforms into our consciousness. It's fundamental, because then imagine all of a sudden I think about it and I shift myself to my galactic family. I have a little experience the way I have here. And all of a sudden they told me, think about it like you're going to the market and you come back home. It's the same thing. And I said that sounds crazy, but when you start learning the quantum structure, trust me, this is not crazy. This is totally possible. You know, because you realize that actually everything is created from the structure itself, and you can simply switch the channel. But in order to switch the channel, what do I need to know? The frequency. Well, who is the conductor? I am. Your own body is. Your own consciousness is. So you simply need to match the resonance of this timeline and shift them right with them. Then you want to go back into a parallel reality, the earth, and imagine you see your family, you learn there, you interact, you help there, you come here, all of a sudden you're shifting your consciousness back into this movie, you know, and you say, you know, last night I met with my guidance and they were talking and each was saying that, and all of a sudden you start helping and collaborating with humanity. What they also told me, 3 days, this is not for people that are diabetic. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what they're telling me. So always do it with the supervision. Always with the supervision. Diabetics, there's a video that is called Reversing Diabetics in 30 Days on YouTube. And there's a clinic, Tree of Life, I think, that is in Arizona, that you can reverse diabetic. This is all possible, but it's done with medical team and doctor. Anybody's diabetic, please be careful with the detox protocol, because what they told me, diabetics need a supervision, and the energetic field is fluctuating so rapidly up and down that is not being able to control. You need to control it, but that's got to be through supervision. And what they were saying, that basically, what was I saying? I lost my set of thought.
About the safety of the detox for different people, or
yeah, but was something through the ascension process. Yes, they wanted our body to be very, very pure because of learning how to shift. You're not only learning to shift to 5D, but imagine shifting above 5D structure, that now you're interacting with other galactic beings and you're literally shifting and bilocating your natural body into this type of timelines. And you're interacting and learning and helping humanity at the same time, which they can do. They can plaster a hologram on top of your hologram, because everything is a hologram. They can teach you some kind of a lesson. And when you have agreements and you have to do stuff, when you get off balance, they will do everything possible to put you off balance. So the distilled water for 3 days, if you drink only distilled water, if you're not diabetic, and if you drink water for 3 days, what they told me, and I'm quoting, you are actually releasing, they said to me, the free radicals. I didn't know what radical was. I've heard the word before, but I didn't know what it was. So as soon as they told me, I started researching, and sure enough, go ahead and learn about fasting and learn about the free radicals, and you will realize that the free radicals are like warriors, that they go at the moment you do 3-day detox with distilled water only. The body is shutting every single system down, and actually the radicals are attacking every cancer cell and any sickness that you have in a body. And then they told me you continue with raw honey and distilled water only, but this is on my level. Remember, I detoxed for 1 year. So, and also I had an experience that my heart was changed, you know, and I can tell you the experience was very interesting. This was a physical interaction. When I was detoxing, I end up they told me, okay, we want to upgrade your frequency. And of course, for me, this is like somebody saying something and doesn't make sense, you know, so I go, oh, whatever, you know, what do I know about what they're really doing? And but I've learned to trust them. So I was able to stay 15 days only on the juicing, and you're gonna see that in the juicing protocol, you know, the detox protocol. And the 15-day, I remember, or the 16-day after they finished, I was sitting and writing something, and all of a sudden they write to me a big heart. And at the moment they write a big heart, I feel the way I was sitting. Imagine a hand goes into your body and goes into your heart and pulls the heart out. I mean, I literally felt that literally physical, but you don't see anything. You just feel it. And at the moment this happened, I literally popped out of my body, and I was hovering on top of it. But imagine you literally completely conscious, but you watching your body. And I go, oh, I just popped up out of my body. And I'm aware, but I'm not afraid, because I was warned 50 days before, but I had no idea what they were doing. And this was like maybe 4 or 5 minutes, 4 or 5 seconds. And at the moment, and imagine I'm hovering, but yet I'm feeling how they put it back, and they put it like a new heart. And they said, okay, and at the moment they did that, my consciousness, the way I was hovering, went right back into my body. And I said, oh, and they said, now you upgraded. And what they did was it's switching of a energetic field of the heart in order to hold the new structure that I need to do, because that was designed for me. And what's happening here, basically, you got a new heart, new energetic field that can hold something. It is preparation for interdimensional. And I had no idea about any of this stuff. I'm learning as I go, because some of the stuff is so there, so crazy sounding that who would believe you? But I said, you know what? I'm always been the one that is the front of the line. I don't care, you know, how crazy I will sound. Eventually, humanity will realize what's happening. And, you know, I came here to do a job, so I better complete it because I don't want to fail. And so I started doing whatever they were telling me. And then I realized there's a person that I strongly suggest you guys look into, Breitarianism. This is another thing you need to look into, Breitarianism.
How do you spell it?
Akahi Ricardo. It's fundamental what this person did a lot of stuff. But what he was saying, one of the videos long time ago that I've listened to, is that he ended up, when he was doing basically to Breitarianism, his heart died in something. And when I said, oh my God, and I said, oh, I just popped out of the body. And they said to me, no, you died. And I said, what do you mean I died? And they said, well, this is how death is. And I said, what? And they said to me, yes, you literally for a couple of minutes, you were dead. And I said, oh, that's interesting. But I wasn't scared, because I've listened to Akahi Ricardo, what happened to him when he ended up into another state. And I said, oh, so I've realized that they shifted, the timeline was shifted by changing that, you know, structure. And I said, and they said, what makes you think that you have to die? Basically like a physical death and stuff like that. And I said, what do you mean? And they explained to me that you can create, if you know the alchemy of creation, if you know how things are going, that you can create for yourself a situation that you don't have to die. You simply shift and bilocate. And this is exactly what they want to teach me, but it's so like challenging and it's so scary, because you have to be in a protocol. I have to be very strict with the diet. I wasn't listening for a couple of years because everybody knows my son, you know, is celiac, you know, gluten and all the stuff. And so the only thing, for God's sake, once in a while, I wanted to go ahead and have some vegan food or cheating with something, you know, with food, you know, because you're still experiencing the human experience. But when I have an agreement, I have to complete it. So what do you think happened? I didn't listen. They keep telling me, go 3 days in the water, go 3 days in the water, and I wouldn't do it, you know. And finally I end up sitting in my living room one day and I end up coughing. And what do I cough? I start coughing blood. And I go, oh my God, what's here? But I thought was from my nostrils, because the weather changed. Happened second, happened third time in front of my husband, and we panic, you know. So here I am in the emergency room, and I'm thinking they're gonna tell me vessel end up something. What do you know? Pneumonia. How in the world I would have a pneumonia when there's absolutely no symptoms, when I don't feel any pain, and when I don't, and there's absolutely nothing. So the whole time they were telling me to go into my protocol, I wouldn't listen. So what do you think happened? In my platform, because that's how they work. Please, guys, don't get scared of that. When you have an agreement, your higher self will do everything possible. Remember, I was saying they're going to do everything possible to wake you up so you do whatever you need to do. Well, in order for me to complete my diet that I got to be doing, I have a full gallon of just water over here that I'm doing, you know. In order to complete, I have to be pushed against the corner, because now I have the knowledge how the molecular structure work. I know how the quantum structure work. I've listened to so many medical doctors and I learned so many medical stuff in order for me to have the knowledge to know that this is not crazy what they're telling me. Because if you go and learn about fasting from medical doctors, pioneers, and you go into distilled water to learn about distilled water and how you do you know, detox and stuff like this, you're going to realize in the free radicals, this is exactly what was happening. So here I am, and guess what? Everything clearing up. My body is okay because today is my third day, and I was completely forbidden to take any type of antibiotics. The only antibiotics I took was in a hospital, 2 pills, and they are beg me and beg me and beg me to trust the process. And let me tell you, I'm doing it, guys, but I'm doing it with um, how should I say, maybe fear, with doubt, maybe not in doubt. I'm just confused, but I know that everything they told me was true, and I've done enough research. So basically I'm experimenting on myself in the name of humanity, because I want to show how this works. I have enough knowledge now to put a trust into. This is how I did it with the money structure. Remember, we discussed about money structure when everybody, because they wanted me to teach how I can manifest whatever I need. So you can listen to all this stuff in a quantum manifestation series, how I did it. So now this is the level. And the other level is connection. And if I have a connection, I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it's done. Because in order for us to do it, we have to teach our body to do it. So this is the experience I'm doing now, is all distilled water. Now, never ever go in my protocol without supervision and without detoxing for a long time, because my body is being prepped. Okay, so you need to go through detox the ways in everything I've done is the way I was taught. There's not, if I promote a book, I've read this book, I approve this book. I will not say something that I don't approve, because I'm not, they taught me that there's no big lie or small lie or white lie. The intention, what counts, the frequency, what counts. So always be honest with whatever you do. So I would never tell you or promote something that I don't like, or the person, for example, end up going in a negative. But sometimes I see people that were chosen to download a lot of information. They end up written books. But I know that, for example, they went into the money and they're not really nice now. They went into the ego. I still may promote a book for that person. And I did that recently, but I'm not going to say the name. Even if the person went into a greed, because the information, I have to put my ego down, and the information needs to go for humanity, because these people also have agreement that information has to be given. And remember, the information was given to all of us, for the entire humanity, not only for the people that can pay you. So think about that and follow the money with people that do stuff, because it's time for us to start interacting and giving and sharing. And if you want to support for somebody's work, be the person to support it if you can, because we still have families and we still have stuff, but you're not obligated through the structure. That's how they want to teach us. And why is fundamental? Because if you give from the heart, you are tuning to structures of reality for infinite of probabilities for abundance. That's why. If you study the structure, you will understand. I have a whole hour of video on the money structure. So study that also. So it's a lot of learning, but guess what? You would not have come to timeline of ascension for the planet Earth if you're not a master of creation. You're a master of creation. That's why you were given the choice to come here, because somebody had to hold the high vibrational sequence to help the planet and the whole humanity. If you right now you shift and you go to your galactic family or whatever, you don't come back, who is going to give that information? A lot of us are being given the opportunity to do something good, but it's so much challenging and it's so much stuff going on that a lot of us go into different direction. It's easy to fall into that fear. So the ones that really going to succeed and work with humanity and extraterrestrial galactic beings are the ones that stay in a heart structure. This is the timeline you're going to see, because you got to match that frequency. And what they told me, that all of us are being tested, they're watching us, they're seeing. And another thing you need to know, what they told me was that since you are the structure and you are connected with every single higher self of reality, you also, if you do something very well in a planet Earth that is basically like a learning platform, you will also go ahead of error his into the other realities that you are existing. It's connected with each other. And that is fundamental. Not only, it's almost like a schoolyard, you're doing a graduation. You're doing a graduation process, and you basically graduate in planet Earth. It's a master class. It's ABA or whatever, magma, whatever. I don't know what they call it here, you know, but that's what you're doing. And why don't you want to be the pioneer?
Yeah, so we each have the potential for that right now.
All of us being given the choice to do that. All of us. Again, all this in the name of the entire humanity, not for the ones that can pay you. You have to understand that this is fundamental for us, because then if you start sharing and giving, once you give a condition to the person, you overtake in consciousness. You're not allowing the person to choose and to learn to support from the heart. Because we've been manipulated so much with absolutely everything that you don't know how to give from the heart. You just think that you can take. Well, why not support the person that is doing everything for you?
Yeah, and I love how you are modeling this in your life in so many different ways, you know, with the,
yes, oh, thank you.
drinking the water for 3 days, and as well as with the money structure. Yeah, it's really, really wonderful. And the level of trust is pretty amazing to see. So thank you.
Oh, that is, to be honest, I'm kind of scared a bit, but you know, every time I didn't listen, every time I end up in a situation, and this time I think I'm put in a corner, and I don't think so this is a coincidence this time, because who gets pneumonia with no symptoms and no temperature, nothing? And the only reason I end up in an emergency room, because I've read so many medical books and so much knowledge now in my head that I simply didn't want to take a chance.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. Anybody else would have thought it's simply the nostrils, because literally it felt like this, but I got suspicious. Yeah. So I think I was put in a corner so I can do it.
There was
the BMW that I crashed. That when this situation happened is in my protocol. This was also a situation, and they told me, does it matter what type of a car you're driving? That was a lesson. So I want to tell everybody that your higher self guidance will put something in your hologram to wake you up if you're not on a platform. Not because they hate you, because they want to teach you to push you towards the proper path if you're off track.
There was a word that you mentioned. Was it Praetorianism, or could you spell it?
Yes, Praetorianism. Akahi Ricardo. It's on YouTube.
How do you spell his first name?
Well, if I can may share screen, I can show you.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, let me share screen. Share. You guys see it?
Yes.
And let me go to, YouTube is right here. Oh, this is my YouTube channel if you guys want to press and sign in. So I can, Akahi, I think the guy is, I think he's phenomenal. This is him. It's incredible information. And the reason why I'm promoting him, because I think he is authentic. He knows the protocol. I've watched this particular video, Mystics Next Door, and it's phenomenal information. And in this video, I think he was explaining how he almost ended up dying. And he almost like a dying, the heart was switcher, like he was told to breathe in, you know. And this is how I knew whatever happened to me, I connected to his information. His wife is also a Breitarian. Their child is Breitarian. It's phenomenal information. I strongly suggest you guys go into and totally, basically, this is the books. If you want to download, click the books, you know, and schedule whatever. This is the videos that I have. This is the quantum manifestation series. This is the and this is the detox series. This is how you can all the way in the top is videos, events, and everything else. The books If you don't have anything, you don't have to donate. If you wish to donate, by all means, really appreciate it. You can just click it and we'll literally go to this page, click to download, and it's going to go to this page. And is basically click here and it's gonna download directly. You don't have to do anything else. The reason why I put if you wish to leave a donation is because if you wish to is giving you the ability to choose whatever you want to do. If I end up putting to leave a donation, that is also that you must, and that is also overtaking somebody's consciousness. I just want to for you guys to understand everything I do is for a reason. I know exactly what I'm doing. So, and energy philanthropy is when you give from the heart, with your energy, with your heart, without a condition. And I never put a condition to any of you of any of my material. I posted everything for free for the entire humanity. But if I get supported by strong, I appreciate really because I have a family. If not, I'm here for you. You don't have to. I love anything, and I give a gratitude to no matter what it is I received. So thank you again for having me. Again, Akaki Ricardo is fundamental person to look into and learn. He has classes. Andrew Weber is another person that Weber. Here it is, Andrew Weber, Distilled Water. It's fundamental. This is the person that I would definitely look into, and the information. That's how I found out because the ETs told me about that. And this is how I ended up fighting about him. Also, Nick Barrett. I have his books on my website, Nick Barrett. Lucid Dreaming, this is him. Nick Barrett of a Lucid Dreaming. I've studied from him and I became lucid from his material. I trained myself for 2 weeks and I was able to become lucid. And every single time I became lucid, I opened up a portal with my thought. I went through it and wanted to go to the spacecraft and I was not allowed to get in because they told me, what makes you think that, what makes you think that the lucid dreaming is not another reality like this one? And I said, oh my God, what do you mean? And they said, well, it's another platform like this one. It doesn't have to be the same, but you're not allowed to. Why do you want to connect to lucid dreaming when you can connect from this reality, which is also could be like a lucid dream? Consciousness, they said, is dreaming. And I said, oh my God. So see, whatever we can do in the lucid dreaming, why can I not do it from this platform? So this is what they're trying to teach me now. So let's see what I'm going to do, people. I'm risking everything again. So let's see what I'm going to do.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing and for sharing this information with us, Marina.
Thank you very much for having me and spreading the word.
Yes.
And thanks for everybody today.
Yes. And so is it okay with you, Marina, if we open it up for a few questions from the audience?
Yes. Just have to mute and stop because I have to plug my computer.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Okay. So if anybody would like to ask Marina a question, go ahead and raise your hand. And I can bring you over to talk with her. And you can also, of course, put your questions in the chat in the Q&A if you prefer to do it that way. Let's see. And so, Marina, just let us know when you're ready. Okay, so Roma, I see you've raised your hand. I'll bring you over as soon as Marina's ready.
All good now.
Okay,
I
wonderful.
plugged the computer.
Yeah, it's very important, right?
Yeah, I was in the other room.
Okay,
Let me put more
so
water.
get some more butter. Very good.
Yeah.
Actually, let me ask you there. So Roma's raising her hand, and we'll bring her over in just a minute. But I wanted to ask one question, which I think is pretty straightforward. Susan is asking, can you start drinking distilled water without changing the rest of your diet? Or is it important to go on the fasting plus distilled water?
Oh, no. This, if you're sick, please look into fasting. There's a lot of medical doctors that are talking about fasting. I want you to take the education first. Don't believe what I say. I want you to learn about it. Learn the videos, learn the medical stuff, because that's fundamental how your body actually is going to work. When you're sick, go directly into fasting and also distilled water, because it's explained exactly how we shut in every single system down, and you also start losing all the fat. Except going and doing liposuction, I guarantee you, if you're going to juicing and distilled water, I guarantee you within 2 to 3 weeks, the fat is gone. And if you do only, and I'm saying from experience, this is nothing that I just read. I went through all that. I know how it works. If you do honey, raw, organic, non-GMO honey, you can find it anywhere. Whole Foods has it, a lot of varieties. If you do raw, organic, non-GMO honey with the distilled water, and you fast for 11 days like that and more, some people can do it. Literally, I did that. I was able to get to 11 days. I literally, when I look at my face in the mirror, I thought I was hallucinating, because there was not almost one wrinkle in my face. It looked like somebody gave me a Botox, because what it's doing, and you're going to learn that in the medical, is regenerating your cells, making a brand new cells, and they literally fill up your skin. If you go out, make sure that you do maybe 1 hour of raw organic non-GMO honey in your face, and then wash it with the warm water, and you put the raw organic non-GMO coconut oil that is pure. That's all I'm using, nothing else. That will look, your face is going to look like you've done Botox in your face. And if you keep doing this, another thing for the face is clay, organic clay. Mix that with organic non-GMO apple cider vinegar. It will take the pores out, including any of your pimples. It's going to take it out. And then you do the honey and the coconut. That is actually what is going to preserve yourselves in the face and everything else. I know it works. So it's fundamental for us to do the distilled water like this. If you're not diabetic, remember, I'm not saying this to diabetics. Diabetics need total supervision. I'm not a doctor. I cannot recommend, but I can tell you what I've been through. So you have to go through the detox protocol in order to get to, if you're sick, you can do the 3 days distilled water, because after the 3rd day, what they told me is releasing the free radicals. And when you watch videos of medical doctors that talking about fasting and fasting with distilled water, they are exactly explaining how the free radicals are working and how they really restoring every cell, and is like a warriors. They go after the cancer cells. And what I was taught from the ETs was that if I drink the water for 3 days, distilled water, after the 3rd days, the free radicals are released and they go after every single cancer cells in the body.
Okay. So it's good on all levels.
It's good on all levels, because I think that everybody can handle 3 days only in the distilled water. And then you can go into juicing, raw juicing, exactly the way the protocol is, and raw diet, but to flush out the system, you need to juice. And why juicing? Because juicing goes directly into the blood. The shake, you still have to process the fiber, takes more nutrients out of the body because it has to do that process. You need clean state directly into the blood and to stop flushing you out. Do not mix fruits and vegetables. They ferment together. Separate them 1 hour apart. If you're still hungry and you just end up drinking green juice, in the next half an hour, make a avocado shake and drink it. Or if you end up drinking the way the protocol is, if you had a bananas, or make a banana shake after the fruit juice. But separate 1 hour apart because it will ferment, and this is how you lose the nutrients. This is the reason a lot of vegans and stuff like this end up losing it, because they don't know how to combine it, and they didn't know that they were basically fermenting everything.
Okay. And I know you have a lot more information about that on your website that people.
On my videos, I show you the detox.
The detox.
On my videos, yeah. And I explain step by step. I even did medical. I was teaching medically because I've read so many medical books because of whatever I learned from my son. Oh, since we're talking about medical, important information. Anybody, let me tell you another thing. Look into Dr. Salo, or I forget the name about, he was talking about gluten. The gluten actually, and I saw him with my son in Boston because he was a special for celiac. But what's happening, if you listen to his lecture, was the Dr. Fisano, and you put gluten. For gluten, for celiac, Dr. Fisano for celiac, and that's on YouTube. And he was saying that actually gluten is like a poison for the body. All of us, the body does not take gluten, and when you take gluten, it becomes like a poison. So the body started auto attack and has a lot of problems. And because of that, whatever is your weakest link, you end up being diabetic, or you end up being something else. So it's no such thing like eventually what I found out that anybody can end up a celiac because you've been eating gluten and gluten and gluten and gluten all your life. And if one person gets it in the first couple of years, the next person may get it in the 10 years. But by the time you get it, you already have some kind of a disease. So, and the other thing I've learned, antibiotics. The antibiotics, when you take them, you have to take at least 2.5 hours after probiotics. Every dosage, 2.5 hours after that probiotics. The one that works is the Visbion, the green one that I found out. Restores the gut flora. Learn about the gut flora. The gut flora is fundamental, what is really happening. Let me just share a screen since let me go to you.
I was trying to look it up, but you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, no, I have to go to history, guys. I'm sorry. Give me some chance. I hope everybody has some time. I'm trying to do my best for you.
Oh, so yeah, take your time.
You know, learn some, you know, stuff. Where was that doctor?
I did find a link to Dr. Alessio Fasano on celiac, and I did put that in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's the person. See, cancer disappears, water fasting. This is the stuff I actually look at what I'm researching, guys. I don't sit like that every day. You see me every day. I'm researching anything that you can possibly see. Water fasting. There was one other lady. Now you know I like Giorgio Armani, you know, but not all of them. There was another lady that was talking about basically, what was that? Oh, this lady. Oh, by the way, from this lady, you're going to learn about the matrix because she's Jewish, and she ended up realizing the Torah that they were saying, since the words of sonic vibration is basically producing different, it's holding the 3D dimensional archon structure. So it's good to meet the Rothschilds and stuff. That is the video that you need to listen to. You know, this is the video. The Matrix, this is the lady. Dr. Judy Markowitz, she talks about the gut flora. She has a lot of videos, and she was talking about the vaccines and what she discovered. And what she discovered is that all the bacteria, HIV, anything from the vaccines, polio, everything was coming out. Every single lab was coming from the mice that they were doing experiments on. Watch her videos, incredible information, incredible knowledge. I would definitely look it into the stuff that I'm showing you. So yeah, you can see I was doing for pneumonia, what's happening, you can see. This video is phenomenal. If you want to have a vegan sausage, is made raw. This is the people that I also follow. Very incredible information. That guy also has Marcus Rothkans, I cannot pronounce the name. He actually has a book, and I strongly suggest you buy his book because he talks. I've learned a lot from this guy when they were telling me to detox and all the stuff, because I needed the information from my platform. So this is the people that, you know, I follow. If you go to, for example, my channel, go into, for example, you know, channels that I like, and you're gonna basically see a Magenta Pixie. I strongly suggest follow. She has similar information to mine. Mine is more quantum. You're gonna explain more, but she also talks similar stuff to mine, but mine's more into depth. You know, how exactly things happens. This is what I want you to see is this over here, International Tribunal. Watch these videos about people in every government. They create an international tribunal of judges, and actually when you click on that, you actually can see people giving absolute testimonials of what's been happening. Absolutely everything that is being happening, and it's phenomenal information what is there. I want you also to look into this person, Sasha Stone, and Bibi. That it's a must. This lady here, Sasha Stone, it's incredible information what you're going to learn, what's really happening in the government. Because it was explaining how we actually, our social security actually is, we have millions and millions of dollars, and we trade on the market as a commodity, and under your social security is actually a bank account. And what she explained in that video is that all of us have so much money under a bank account, and when you buy a house, the money are going from your social security bank account to the bank, and the bank is giving you fake money and is depleting you all your life. Watch this video. This is information that I would strongly suggest you guys look into. Again, more knowledge to wake up is Ronald Bernard. Strongly suggest to look into this guy, all his videos. I will watch this video, ex-Dutch banker. The reason why I'm giving you this is because a step to go through so many research, this is exactly what you need to look into to get the whole picture, what's been really going on around. And this is another video of International Tribunal with him. Then you have, what do you have? You have Secret Society. Hold on, I'm Diabolic. Hold on. This video, fundamental, the front video, real secret societies, Diabolic. Now this is going to be incredible knowledge. Those two videos that I just show you with Ronald Bernard and this one, real secret society, Diabolic, Ordinali, it's fundamental for you guys to look into because it's giving you the entire picture of what is really, really, really been going on. So you no longer just questioning and stuff like that, and learn a lot of information for anything that you basically want to do. You know, look into tiny homes, look into unclaimed properties, and look into also what do you call it, ecosystems and eco-cities. And do you know that you can actually build a 3D printing home? And that is fundamental for $10,000. And I want you to look at that, because it's phenomenal what you're going to see. Look at that.
Wow.
This is 3D printing. This home right here costs $10,000. Is a 2-bedroom. You can build it for 10 days, for 2 days. This here, somebody built entire homes here for a couple of days. It's unbelievable what is happening here.
That's amazing.
This is the 3D printing over here. This is in 24 hours. It costs $10,000.
Wow.
That is what's really been going on. There's also another person I want to, it's called BioVeda Academy. It's Bio, B-I-O, Veda, V-E-D-A Academy. Or is www.bioveda.co. And it's actually, they have courses for, what do you call it? For how to build an eco home that it will cost you $10,000. So all this stuff are available for us. We just need to do the research and understand that we have so much available. But again, what they told me, you will not see this platform of reality if you do not resonate in a sequence, if you don't take an action, because quantum bylaw, anything you see in your mind, anything you imagine right now, if right now you imagine 5th-dimensional Earth and you make a scenario and you see who is there, if you see that image, that means you already exist in this type of a reality. But in order for you to see this reality, you have to take the emotion, to put the emotion of joy, to project it, and you have to take the action, because the action is infusing this reality to become a matter, to crystallize as a matter. That means you cannot wait somebody to do the job. You have to be the beacon and the vibration of this sequence in order for you to see this reality. Or otherwise you can't match the frequency because you simply don't know it. That's why it's so fundamental. That is why I'm showing you all the stuff, so you can learn from it. Don't believe what I say. Do the research. The other day I posted a video, ignorance. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. I get very upset when I see ignorance. And why is that? Because it's basically depleting you. You cannot deny what somebody is telling you without doing the research. You may not be interested about it, but guess what? It's time to wake up. So if you sit with your head underground like a strauss, you won't do anything. You won't see anything. And eventually everything was going to go down the hill, because the new frequencies are no longer going to match that reality, and you're going to start seeing a lot of collapse around you. So better start doing something, and better start helping humanity, and let's level the jump into, without jumping to conclusion, who is right, who don't point fingers, because you don't know, even the toughest politicians are being manipulated. You know, you don't know how they've been threatened. If you look into MK Ultra, if you look into satanic rituals, oh, by the way, look into, since somebody that doesn't believe me, look into Hollywood hidden messages in Disney movies. Wait until you see this, the shock that you're going to see in there. Because there is something when they run in the video, in the movie, the 25th color, I don't know how they call it, the 25th shot or something, the way they're running in the speed, when they lower it down, all of a sudden you see hidden images that your consciousness is taking it, but not you. And wait until you see these videos to see what they've been putting in front of our kids. This is the manipulation.
Terrifying.
And that is not only in the video. Go into music. Go into Illuminati music. Look at that. Look at all this stuff. I'm not scaring you. It doesn't matter. But whoever needs to do their research needs to see this stuff to wake up. After you see, you may get through anger. I understand. But now you awaken. How do we get out of it? Study the quantum structure of manifestation that is given to everybody to us for free. And this is how you shift your realities and platforms and getting out of the archon structure and shifting yourself and creating for yourself brand new earth. Remember, you're not changing that person. You're projecting from the heart new holographic structure and you're shifting yourself into a brand new earth that you created. This is the quantum knowledge. So that's why you don't go after somebody. You forgive, you shut down the platform in the hologram, and you creating a brand new one for yourself. Because if you go after the person, you keep looping and reprojecting the same frequency, and that's why you cannot get out of the problems that you're recreating again and again and again. And this was the manipulation. Because they know if they put a negative video, if they put a negative movie, and you're constantly watching, you are starting to resonate in that frequency. And this is the reason all of a sudden you turn around and somebody did an accident, the third person, you see a bomb threat. Why? What have you been watching on TV? Why there are not movies that the ETs, benevolent ETs are coming? Why everything is through fear? Because when you have fear, you are actually holding the frequency of the negative structure that they can exist, because negative entities cannot match positive timeline. They simply don't match the frequency. They can ascend naturally. They don't have the vessel, the consciousness for it. The only way they can do it through artificial timelines and artificial intelligence, which is archon structure, the one with the robotics. Not that the ETs don't have that, but the AI is fifth dimensional structure.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yes, and we have the chance to choose, right? We have the chance.
Now is the time to really take the action. That's why I don't, this is not okay. Well, what are you doing about it to be okay? I was explaining one time, we had like 300 people in one of the webinars, and one of the person was complaining how come the audio was not good. And the host said, well, why don't you donate to us so we can buy the proper program so you don't hear that? Why are you just sitting there? We have to support each other. You can't just sit there and expect people to give everything and share everything without supporting. So we have to take action for everything. Support the right people. If you don't have anything, you don't have to do anything. But go ahead and your neighbor, help the lady that there. You know that she needs to paint the house. Why don't you gather your neighbors and do something? Do something positive, because what's happening here, when you do something positive, you're projecting this energy philanthropy frequency. Once you project it, it comes back to you, because the quantum structure is a mirror image, is reflecting that. If you don't get it from that person, what you're getting is from another platform and a person or situation when you need it. And what I've noticed, I had instantaneous manifestations of money. Do you know when this happened? When it was connected with my kids. Because with my kids, there's no doubt and there's no worrying. I just know it. So if we learn all that, trust me, I gave you enough information to start with. There's a lot of books that I promote and stuff. Study the books. I've studied them. I know what it is. I've been through it. Anything I teach is what I've been through physically. I've learned from them. They taught me that. And I put my trust into it. Sounds ludicrous what I would do. Even now what I'm doing is crazy. But who is going to do it? If I have to do it, I'm put in a corner already. I want to complete it, because now is basically, first of all, I don't want to have a choice. And second of all, I have to do it because now I'm curious what's really going to happen. And if I achieve something, I will all let you know.
Thank you so much, Marina, for all that you have shared here today. It is deeply appreciated and very much needed.
Thank you. I just want to tell you one more thing. Remember that time is fractal. Everything what matters is right now. That's what they taught me. Grab, if I tell you right now, you made it. Grab the emotion. If you want it to be very successful, imagine that you're very successful. And if I tell you very successful now, what you're going to feel? You're going to feel ecstatic with the love, and grab that frequency like an actor and implement it with the image that you're thinking, and hold that moment to moment to moment. Because what they told me, when you talk to one person, when you, whatever you do, whatever I do right now towards you guys, I'm putting the best of myself. Even I feel kind of off because of what I'm doing. I was tired, I didn't sleep all night, but I'm doing my best for you right now without expecting anything, without getting anything. Why is that? Because my next momentum and the frequency that I'm projecting is based on what I do right now. Because based on that, I'm collecting energy of positivity, because it's giving me back. So when I need something, it's gonna come when I need it. But the only thing you don't know where it's gonna come from, who is gonna give it, and what time, because there's no time. And if we learn that, if you teach yourself to shift your emotion from negative to positive, you gotta train yourself. There's no limits of, I'm quoting, what we can achieve and what type of realities we can create. Because not only that everything exists in the now, but you're also creating in the now, because it's quantum.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I can feel your energy and your integrity in all of this. And I just want to thank you for being here with us, heart and soul, and sharing all of this with us.
Thank you, and cheers to everybody.
I don't have distilled water, but yes, I'll go get some. Yes, and I do want to let everybody know that Marina's free gift to everybody who is watching live and everybody who's listening to this as a recording is her books. And I have put the link to access her books. It's the Harmonic Reactor. And what is the name of the second book?
The nanotechnology. You're gonna learn how all the molecules of what I was talking about, this one particle, is actually colliding with each other, and the best technology with the nano will be built when you allow the molecules to choose itself, the platforms, for a couple of days actually. And this is in the material, because remember, consciousness is a life structure. So when you allow the nanoparticles to choose for itself, and by colors, I explained that in the nano material, the way they downloaded for me, is actually building the fifth dimensional platforms of the heart structure and above, where there cannot, when you work with all this stuff, you cannot be in a negative thinking, because it's mimicking your consciousness. So anybody that tries to copy, steal, and do, trust me, people, you will not succeed, because this is fifth dimensional structure material, and it will mimic your consciousness, and it will shut you down. You're going to get to one point, and you're going to be shut down. You're not going to know how to continue, what to do next.
Okay. Yes. So yes, you can find that information and much more in her books. And so when you're on the page with her books there, also definitely consider a donation if you have found this valuable, and if you would like to support Marina in her work, because she offers so much for free. And
yes,
also
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's so true. And also on that page, if you scroll down, you can watch her whole quantum consciousness video series and the detox video series. So there's just so much available.
Yes, and I personally want to thank to all the people that supported me, because now to be honest, I never asked for it. I even have people that did monthly donation on my website. I want to thank you all that did that. It's very, very generous of you, because thanks to you guys, believe it or not, I end up with the donation money. I end up going to Boston. I end up paying the trip for my son. Really, I did that because, thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you are doing, Marina. And it's always a pleasure to speak with you and to learn more from you. So yes, thank you for being a part of this event, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thanks for everyone
Bye-bye.
who's attending. All right. Have a wonderful day, Marina, and everybody.
I'll see you, right?
This one will end. We can connect back up if you want to.
Oh, okay.
This one, I have to end the meeting in order to
Yeah, okay. All
Yeah.
right. Good.
But yes, email me if you want to talk more.
All right.
So, okay.
I gotta rest and see the kids, but thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
Bye.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.